kick to?
Yeah, it's going to be a big first few minutes. He's got Colin Garland down there, so that's a good contest, that one, but he's been isolated and he's got plenty of space around him.
That's a head-high contact from Broughton. Lucky he didn't go with a lot of force.
No, he pulled up, I think.
He did. He stopped when he saw it was going to happen, Lynch. You're quite right. Kick out wide to Martin. Gathers, wastes no time, play on to Green. In amongst a couple. Managed to squirt the kick out of the middle. Watch the danger with the one hand. It's like...
Well, he doesn't take a lot of contested marks, Jack Watts, and he's just held his direct opponent out and plucked one with the left hand. Very good mark. Now, if you think his way through this one.
Well, he's going out for the right foot snap. I reckon that's the classic, goes straight at it with the drop punt there.
Well,
I don't know why he needs to go around the corner on that ball.
Especially from there.
Kick around the corner. He kicks the goal anyway, but Melbourne now out to a game-high 37.
Maybe you get 7 points for the degree of difficulty. Yeah, that looked like it was the classic straight drop punt from 45 degrees, but regardless, that is a centre clearance stoppage via a free kick on that occasion, and they've got a number. There's the hit on Scully, just at the top of the head, but I think he did pull up there, Broughton, on that occasion. Now, this is where the big men are getting forward and really making the ruckman of the Fremantle Dockers vulnerable by getting... having to play a defensive role, but that's a great pluck from Jack Watts. Really well done and good goal.
Jack Watts kicks his first goal of the game. Melbourne continue on, 37-point margin. Fremantle at the moment can't stop the bleeding. They need to not just kick goals, but just have a period of play where they at least draw level and maintain possession. Fight for the clearance. Pavlich in front. This will give them some spark and hope.
It was well coached, Mark Harvey. They need a strong target, but the key to that, you need to win the ball out of the middle. And it took Barlow, who hasn't played for 12 months, to put his hand up for Freo and say, boys, we need to win some quality ball in the midfield and get it down long and strong to Pavlich.
Hurt himself a little here, Pav, high in the hip there. Seen flexing that and in his attempts to win this mark. It was a good call, Spud. You called for him to go forward in the middle parts of the first quarter. He's gone there and he's had immediate impact. You can see the knee got rammed into the turf.
It's a beautiful kick from Barlow.
Yeah, great clearance, and once again, as we were speaking about the Melbourne forwards, the kick was weighted to their advantage.
Really needs to convert here. It's not a tough kick. It's 30 to 35 metres out. At the city end, he's put it across the face, but I think it's bent a little left to right, and it's a goal. They really needed that one.
Important to get the quick reply in that situation, and as you said, it's from the youngster Michael Barlow, got the clearance, and this is the good work. They sort of got their hands on the ball. The ball was knocked forward, and it was Fife, was it?
Yeah,
Fife got that
Fife
clearance, but a perfect kick. It was a long 50-metre kick to the advantage of Matthew Pavlich, and the captain needed to go back and slot that one. Certainly we had a little bit of confidence. Quick reply after Melbourne got off to a good start.
Beautiful mark from Pavlich. Well-weighted kick. And you're right, it was Fife. It was a magnificent kick under pressure. Clearances players, they make really good decisions under pressure. And Freo are under pressure. It took Fife with a magnificent kick to the skipper, Pavlich.
Umpire Hayden Kennedy with a magnificent bounce in the middle. Crowley smacking into the hard-nosed Mackenzie, who does not wilt when you come at him.
A lot has been spoken about the inclusion of Scully and Trengove over the last few weeks, but I think Mackenzie's been a massive plus. Has missed a bit of football this year, but he's such a hard nut around these congested areas.
Crowley out of the middle, goes forward. Main keeps in the front, trying to tap it to the advantage of Pavlich. It's just a little swift. Garland did well around the corner, but it's going to come back. Fife, beautifully gloved ball, wasn't it? On the left, straightens it up. Main's under it. He won't get it, but Johnson in front might. Rivers was the punch away. Could have almost marked it. Main in the end kept his hands clear from the tackle. Barlow with the left foot snap.
You're right, Brian. They just need to maintain a passage of play here where they can keep the ball inside their forward 53, eh?
Yeah, and control the tempo of the game for a few minutes. And this is always a good sign if the zone's in place very early and you can hold it in just to generate that repeat inside 50.
Fife again almost was able to get hold of that one. Broughton, bit of time to think, around the corner and he goes. Johnson elevates, couldn't hold the mark, free kick. I think it'll go Fremantle's way to Johnson.
Well, you keep the ball in there, eventually you're going to put any defence under pressure.
And Hayden Kennedy, the umpire who was officiating in the middle of the ground, was one adjudicated on this one. And just a little shove there.
Well, it was a mismatch
against Bartram.
Was it just in the flow of play? Bartram ended up on Johnson, and it was just a height difference there. The free kick.
Sure, there wasn't a 50-metre penalty there either. They didn't give the ball back directly. I think I saw that. Johnson comes in, kick on the way, they get it. Consecutive goals for the first time today, Fremantle.
Well, again, they've followed up their answer with another goal, and that was from a repeat inside 50 as well. Barlow's snap had gone out in the full, but they managed to generate another shot at goal via a free kick on that occasion. But when you have got mismatches and you've got a tall forward against a smaller man, often the smaller midfield type can just be a little bit worried he's going to get outmarked, so it gives a free kick away. So a bit of a clumsy attempt from Bartram, but a good finish from Johnson.
Back to a 25-point margin. I thought a 50 could have been on there, but it was actual fact a Fremantle player that didn't get the ball back directly.
It's 2 clearances to Freo, which have equated into 4 inside 50. So they're starting to win some ball around the midfield, Fremantle.
Melbourne need to get going here now. Martin into the ruck, beaten on that occasion. Here's Scully, been fantastic today. Crowley out of the middle, gets it inside, getting a jump at the ball was Johnson. A free kick will go the way of Melbourne here in defence to McDonald. To Morton. Morton's got nothing down long, so that's why he had to pull up. You say on the screen, you can see it from the magnificent pictures there. He had to go wide and short.
And look at this.
Then loose check in the spread from Melbourne wasn't good enough. They didn't work hard enough to give the Melbourne defence an opportunity to kick the ball long. So that's why they've kicked the ball short, and it was out in the full. And then loose checking.
Lapse in concentration here.
So that's a poor kick, but you understand why he had to go sideways, because there's no option up the ground.
Johnson to make it 3 Fremantle goals in a row here. And this will get them back under 20 points. We get a bird's eye look at it, and that's a goal. 3 in a row for Fremantle. They're back to 19 points.
Well, great start to the second quarter, Fremantle. It's amazing. Johnson kicking 2 and Pavlich, they're tall forwards. But it starts with Jonathan Griffin. You just see here more that, seriously, I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to thread the needle. He just had to kick the ball more to the Melbourne player. But Johnson kicked truly. I think it starts in the middle of the ground. Jonathan Griffin's had 5 hit-outs to 0. I know Melbourne kicked the first goal this quarter, but it's been all Freo the last 3 or 4 minutes. It's been unbelievable play from them. They're winning some ball, getting down to their key forwards.
Back within 19, Fremantle. David King starting to get their hands on it a little bit, Fremantle, from the stoppages.
Had a big lift in the middle of the ground, Brian. That's allowed them to get their press in place. Pretty much what the D's have had going their way in the first term has been flipped on its head.
Very reminiscent this of Melbourne versus North Melbourne earlier in the year. Opportunity here. Picked up. Mazungu, horrible kick. Johnson pointing one way, said you go that way. I suggest Michael just get hold of the ball first before you're worried about that. Petard. Handballs outboard to Stefan Martin. This is one of the rare times in the last few minutes they've gone forward. And that's a free.
Just need to hold the ball up a little bit. Just allow the Melbourne forwards now to reset.
Sylvia's just got some space.
Howe. Jarrah leads. He goes wide into that direction you speak of, Lynchy. Now Sylvia to the square. Green's being held here, and I think he'll get a free. He will.
A good strong kick, BT. Good defence under pressure.
That's a dangerous spot again. As a defender, you get extremely nervous, and if you're not competent under the long ball, sometimes you can get nervous enough to give a free kick away. So Green lines up for his 3rd.
So Brad Green on fire down there at the moment. Punt road end, only about 15 metres out. Favours his left foot. And he'll kick a certain goal for the Demons, who extend the margin back out to 25.
Well, the ball's flying up each end of the ground at the moment, and that was good transition from the Demons. They managed to work it out of the middle of the ground. Here's the free kick. The back was turned in that situation, and just Duffield just wrapped the arms around to start with, then an arm over the shoulder. So not a good free kick. Inside 50s, 6-2, Spud, and they've scored the 2 goals from those opportunities. So that is efficiency at its very best. So Brad Green was the recipient of some good work up the field.
Brad Green in for a good game here. Looks on top of it. Looks keen to be in the contest. Crowley takes a spell.
It's an amazing start to the quarter. As I said, Freo beat him 6 times for 3 goals. Melbourne only the 2 inside 50s for 2. So 8 inside 50s for 5 goals.
5 goals in 9 minutes of footy here in the second quarter. And here...
And again, it equates to whoever wins the ball is going to score.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of congestion around this stoppage, but just outside the stoppage, there's space. So you can, once you clear the ball, you can run into space and set up a good forward 50 entry.
Sylvia around the corner, magnificent kick to the lead. Well taken down there by Howe. He turns around immediately looking for Martin. It was a little bit low. The big man had trouble getting down. Trengove went in there. And they'll hope for a ball up here. Let's go down to David King.
Just have a look at this last play, Brian, when the ball went inside the forward 50 for the green goal. There was an incident on the wing there where it was paid a free kick. You can see the push in the back there. Hill goes after the ball. His man Sylvia charges forward, and Hill gives the ball back to the Melbourne player to go through Sylvia. Poor play there by Hill.
I wonder whether he worried because he was the last person to touch it that he had to go and get it, Kingy. That's the only excuse I've got for him. Other than that, it's a great get. Here's Fremantle through the middle. Clancy Pearce. Handball on to Zach Clark. Back to Pearce, who is flat-footed now. He's got some fancy footwork to do. He did it nicely in the end. Ball comes out in the direction here of Hinkley. Got a difficult bouncing ball. Got to go and get it. Running support from Duffield on the wing. Northern side of the G. Trying to close him down as Watts. Good kick to Main. Marks on 50. Too far out to score.
Barlow 1-on-1 on top of the square. Oh, he's been too slow.
Just allowed numbers to get back. Might go short to him.
Pocket to Barlow. He says, no, I can't make that kick either. So he goes long on the head. He's looking for Barlow here off the side. Couldn't mark it. Comes to hands. He is good overhead, Barlow. Finding his feet here on his return to AFL footy. Bartram panicked a little bit, didn't he? Main, McFarlane, handball, threatening here. Hinkley to a man that really never had any hope. And Barlow tried to bore a hole through. And he got caught with a throw from a strong Melbourne defence.
Just ducking back to what you were saying, Brian, Michael Barlow's good overhead is the throw. Is well tackled and just incorrect disposal. Barlow is good at the top of the goal square with his overhead marking, but just had to get the ball quicker to him for a one-on-one contest.
Garland. Short ball here, Nicholson. Unloaded as he kicked the ball by McFarlane. Spectacular stuff. Ball back inside to Van Berlo, looking for running support. It wasn't really there. In the end, McKenzie did really well. An underground handball to Green, just off the side of his boot. His players were heading up the corridor and he went wide, and as a result, they say, why?
Again, nice hands from McKenzie. Went to ground and just identified that Brad Green was going to run onto that space and just put it out in front.
Interesting patch of play here. You feel that Fremantle are just starting to level the game out a little bit. Melbourne are 25 points up, and any goal for the Demons here is going to make it tough for Fremantle. Melbourne in a fighting spirit mood at the moment.
Well, any stoppage inside your forward 50 is a win, and we very rarely saw this with Melbourne v Collingwood in the Queen's birthday clash, so it's a real win here for Melbourne.
Danger here, though, is that Melbourne have got a lot of defensive sweepers, so this sort of kick can come back very quickly.
They need a boundary line here, and they get it, so Melbourne will get the chance to get themselves organised here as well.
I think Fremantle need to look at maybe putting a second ruckman type in the goal square just to really make the key defensive players for the D's accountable.
Scotty West on the left-hand side is in charge of the Melbourne midfield down there. Here's Barlow. Finishes off the handball to Pavlich. A drawing handball back inside. He wanted it back again. Pavy never got it. Too slow was Hinkley. Look at the Melbourne players jump on this. They're going to make them pay. Bartram needs to make a correct decision. And that is not a correct decision.
Look at this. Look at Barlow.
Little kick inside. Barlow. Pavlich says, you go, old Shepherd. It wasn't a great Shepherd for Barlow. He hasn't got the pace to get away. Boy, Pavlich, his man, come in. Kick around the corner is magnificent to Johnson. Johnson marks.
Well done, Matthew Pavlich in the end, but Fremantle nearly butchered that one. They had two players running forward, but just poor kick across goal on that occasion to a 1-on-2 in the corridor and short. So that's almost ticks every box for a bad choice.
Bartram and Morton, though. Morton had to be stronger in the contest. Wasn't a great kick, but ordinary decision, ordinary effort from Morton as well.
For his third consecutive goal of the quarter, Johnson comes in and nails it.
We talk about a quarter time. Melbourne start with all the intensity, and it's just above the shoulders. They're making the incorrect decision here. You see Bartley, he's under extreme pressure. He's under pressure. He's tried to thread a needle there between 2-on-1. Morton's effort wasn't good enough either. But the decision to go there should have been long and wide, to at least get a boundary throw in to reset. They're allowing Fremantle to get back into this game of football by turnovers. Team-crushing turnovers.
Kicked 4 of the last 5 goals in this game, Fremantle. So it's certainly they've stopped the bleeding. What can Melbourne do in response now?
They've dominated inside 50s for this quarter, 9-4 favour of the Dockers.
Big win there, Trengove. McKenzie is fighting hard in there, petted. Handball out wide once again. A poor decision in close with a handball. Barlow to Crichton, just starting to find his feet now, Michael Barlow. Main wipes his hands before attempting to mark the ball. In the air, it's punched away. A lot of demons around here. Mzungu did well. A difficult ball to pick up off his toes. He made it look clean and easy. For youngsters, that's how you do it. Griffin now regaining their composure, the Fremantle Dockers. A long ball forward. Gives Barlow a chance. He misread it. Well done, Bartram in front.
Yeah, good use of the body there.
Bartram pushed back. Yeah. He was in a vulnerable position, but did well to push back hard.
Interesting to get your thoughts on Michael Barlow. We've seen him in a number of contests now, just to see what you think. I know it's a big effort to get back from where he is. There's Johnson again saying someone go that way before he gathers the ball. Hinkley, Watts, Scully. Can the ball run him down? Scully, a good user. Magnificent kick to Jara. Overhead, probably should have gobbled it up. What do you think so far of Michael Barlow, guys?
I think he's been pretty good, as we saw in that situation, the one-on-one contest. See the tackle here.
I just want to see Carl Morton here. He just waits for the ball. Like, they're under pressure here. Have a look at this. He's just waiting for the ball. Attack the ball, Carl Morton. Attack the ball.
I wouldn't be happy with that replay.
Well, that's indicative of where his career's at the moment, Brian.
And for Barlow, I reckon just still picking up the intensity of it. I'll answer my own question. Up they go over the top. I know you guys have a replay to deal with, but...
No, I agree with you. He's still picking up the intensity of the game. Use of the body is something that comes with games and continuity of training, so he'll build into that and he'll be able to take those contested marks again.
I think he's been good. I think he's been very, very good for a guy that hasn't played for 12 months AFL level.
Here's Bartram. Little ball over the top. Here they go. Strauss gathers. Plenty of space, as you can see there. Sizzling ball in. Mzungu cuts it off at half-back immediately to the man we speak of, Barlow. One of the right, and that's why the left, not quite what it should be on that occasion. Main, clever tap. Johnson tried to go with the hands rather than the body on that occasion. Strauss in there. McKenzie says, get out of the way, you guys. Just let me go and get it. Frawley got Gawn out wide. They come at him. Martin disappointed he didn't honour the lead, and now Gawn's got nothing. Although coming a second time is Martin. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Good patience.
Well called, Brian. Second option was good.
High ball in. Fremantle exposed. Green!
That was unbelievable how Freo, the high ball was up there for an eternity, and Green led into the space. Melbourne are always kicking that ball to a dangerous space. I cannot believe a Fremantle defender, Lynchy, and you played defence, didn't come in for third or fourth man in.
Defensive coach Fremantle will be filthy with that one, because if you're around the ball as a big defender, you just kill the contest. Don't worry about where you're man in that situation. You just got to kill the contest and impact the contest with a big punch.
Brad Green directly in front, lines up, and he's a sharpshooter, remember, and he does. He gets his fourth, so Melbourne answer the Fremantle response.
He's been very impressive in the first half of football. Brad Green, 4 goals, 2 and 14 disposals. But this is the good Stephen Martin, second lead, doubles back and is honoured by a very good pass. Now, this was to a dangerous position. I don't think it was a great kick, but it was to a very dangerous position. But this is an uncontested mark in congestion. Too many spectators for the Fremantle Dockers, bad blue, and that's what you get how you get punished by good players. Take a mark and go.
So a 25-point lead again. Brad Green has kicked 4 goals, 2 in each quarter. With 8 minutes remaining, still plenty of time in this one.
Not only that, he's had 4 inside 50s BT and 14 disposals. He's rotating between the forward line and the wing.
Back in the middle we go. Hands on the ball was Gawn. Jones almost threw it to Maloney then. Double-handed volleyball tap style of thing it was. Maloney off the one step, put it into some space. Did well on that occasion, lower. Little kick down the middle. Went through the feet of Clancy Pearce. Doesn't matter though. Picked up in the end by Fremantle. Go long to Johnson, who's been the danger man. Garland did well with the body work in front. Here's Main, 2-on-1. Gave it off to Barlow. Left foot snap high. And a minor score in the end.
Great play from Garland. Good body work. The kick was to Johnson's advantage, but Barlow just had the... Look at the run down here from Jarrah. Look, it didn't affect a perfect tackle, but it was just good intent.
Sub down here, boys. Grover off and Van Berlo on for Freo.
It's got to be an injury, Kingy, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's not showing any signs of an obvious issue, though, Brian.
Okay, Nicholson, that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on. And taking the mark in defence is Ibbotson, but it is an early time for a sub, would you say, Kingy?
Oh, very early. I think that maybe they're looking to get some run into the game. I think Mark Harvey's just rolled the dice. He realises this game's slipping away from him.
Here is the guy that's come on, the first gamer, Book of Arts. A very good kick, we're told, but on that occasion, not so good. Now, always
numbers
happens.
forward.
Goes inside Martin, one hand taken away without infringing by the ball was good. Maloney was hard out, gave it off to Martin. He said, what do I do now? Handball inside, Pettit, quick hands. Jones even quicker. Magnificent ball used from the Demons. The kick across goal here, trying to get hold of it is Strauss. He's got a runner outside. Frawley from 50 metres out. A tripping high ball. Magnificent Melbourne play.
Good work again from Martin, who got involved. His skills probably in the first phase of that was a little bit off, but he thought his way through it and spread with a very good pass into the corridor, which ended up going out towards Frawley. He kicked a very good goal. That kick was a good one. It was into a very dangerous position where there were a lot of Melbourne players, and Frawley missed the one in the first quarter, but on that occasion, just from outside 50, a very good kick, 55-metre kick straight through.
Very good kick there from James Frawley. Good composure. They didn't panic. They could have blazed away, but they went out to the open side, and that is a good passage of play. A lot of Melbourne players getting around James Frawley, kicking his third goal in AFL football.
He's closing in on you, Spud.
They tend to go.
I thought he'd had Spud well covered by about a quarter of his way through his career. Spud never really got out of the goal square.
13, Brian.
Opportunity. Comes around the corner. Fife, magnificent little pick up. Griffin's there. And Garland did well. Safety first.
How did you get 13?
Oh, just good hard running.
There's,
busting.
there's Grover. He's the one that's been subbed out. Do you think, boys, some sort of illness, or do you think definite foot speed and
Well, it's amazing.
That's a big
it's
play.
not an injury.
This early before half-time. Have to be an illness or an injury, surely.
Mazungu picks it up on his favourite left side. Magnificent kick to Main, and Main on the lead. What do you think, Kingy? You've had a chance to assess him on the bench.
Well, I've been looking at him, Brian. I'm just not sure if there's some sort of migraine or some sort of illness issue, but he's certainly showing no signs of any soft tissue concerns. I honestly think Mark Harvey's just rolled the dice with the extra runner on the ground.
Bit of a brain aid fade here from the two Melbourne boys, Strauss and Frawley. They had to guard one in front, one behind. The two Melbourne players just let Main waltz through.
Lining up for a goal, very difficult angle, only 5 metres inside the boundary line. Fremantle in desperate need to halt the Melbourne challenge, and he's threaded the needle. So it is back to a 24-point margin.
It's been an impressive quarter for Fremantle Dockers. They've certainly been more efficient when they've had the ball in their hand. The inside 50 count is right up there, but this is, as you were talking about, from this clearance situation, Mazungu come around onto his left foot, but just too easy to let Main have a very easy, where he was outnumbered deep. He should have had some sort of defensive pressure from the front as well as the back. So very good play. Dockers have been good in this second term to get themselves back into the game.
Great level of football. James Frawley kicks a real team-lifting goal. He goes back and his direct opponent says, OK, I'll hit the scoreboard as well. Brings you back to earth very quickly.
5 goal to 4 quarter in favour of the Fremantle Dockers here. Martin doing well on the ruck. Pavlich out of the middle. A long ball into the attacking 50. Garland in front. Here is Frawley. Got rid of it in the nick of time. Garland, McDonald combine. Good support from the Demon defence. Have they got a target, though? It was a little iffy one. Scully couldn't complete the mark, but he's clever enough to get out of it with a magnificent kick up the middle to Stefan Martin. He's got to go wide, and that's a pretty ordinary one. Did well, though, Morton to edge his man legally under the ball. He now gathers, penetrating 3-bounce run. 2 it was. He thought about the third. Hammered it forward to Jara. Won't get there. Quick transference from the Demons.
That's the difference, Brian, at the moment, is just that they've got clearance domination here, the Dockers, 20-8 at this stage, but they just can't find any uncontested targets. Melbourne win it, and they're out every time.
That's a horrible kick back into play. And that occasion gave Melbourne every opportunity. Numbers in the end won it out, and the strength of Lower. Duffel's handball was impressive. Griffin tried to do the same thing. Look at this, Duffield. Got some Fremantle players on here. Hill hasn't had much to do today. He wants to move it because there's a free player down the field in Johnson. He'll give it to the runner 5. Here go Fremantle Dockers. He ignores the short lead 5. Now he's got to find someone with the ball. He does in Barlow, but I don't think Barlow can kick the distance from there.
Yeah, he's a bit underdone, Brian. Just before after time, the juice will be out of his legs, but that was Hill.
Gives it off to Pavlich, who can kick the distance. Misses to the right-hand side.
Good passage of play with Stephen Hill. You called him, Brian. That was his first disposal this quarter. That's what Freo need. They need more from Stephen Hill.
Just looking, there's a handful of, there's a couple of players in each team that are always lurking around that 60-metre arc to make sure they can come around and kick the ball long.
What a magnificent mark by Griffin. It's a good pickup, Lynchy. Teams are doing that now. They're queuing up with their gun kickers behind those that can't quite go.
And as an opposition player and team, you must identify those guys and know when your player could be in that position.
Absolutely. Griffin touch. This won't be a mark. It's play on. That won't be paid. Fife hasn't heard the call. He'll be caught now. That should be. He had time.
But they
the umpire's given them the benefit of the doubt. But the call was clear. We heard it here.
Yeah, and we see that week in, week out. It was an obvious call, but and a very good grab. But everyone stops. So it should be advantage, and then not advantage, so it's just holding the ball.
Should be a Melbourne kick, simple as that. If we can hear it, he can hear it.
Be any sympathy just because he was the only one on the ground that didn't hear it because he was concentrating on his mark and setup.
We'd like to get some wax at half-time to get that wax out of his ears.
Well, you've got plenty in yours, Spud, so
it's a terrific leap, terrific mark.
But he's a good leap, that's for sure. But just everyone else has picked it up there. Not the initial delay.
The knife Fife. Now Duffield's got a 2-on-1 here, Fremantle. Peeled off at the correct time. On that occasion did Van Berlo, but he goes to a 2-on-1 in favour of Melbourne, one of those McDonald.
Good mark from McDonald, but very good teamwork from Colin Garland as well. Just came in and just protected McDonald's back.
Jones.
The real worry for Melbourne at half-time, the clearance is David King. They're in this quarter, 12-4 Freo's favour. If it keeps going this way, eventually the damn wall will break.
Oh, Mazungu, that is a magnificent effort. Gave it to Clancy. Here's Lower, looking for an inside runner. No one there. Just shrugs off at Trent Gove in the end. Fremantle started by Mazungu this opportunity with the intercept mark, or the intercept spoil anyway. Now Barlow's in there, tries to get it out. Scully goes in. He's driven into the ground. 2:20 remaining in the half.
I think they should look at maybe just leaving Barlow in the forward 50. He's got the matchup of Bartram at the moment. He's had 8 forward 50 disposals. He's the likely match winner inside the forward 50, Brian.
Good point, Kingy. You can see Barlow just to the left of screen in this stoppage here. Martin and Griffin go at it. Off hands, picked up in the end by Nicholson. Nice handball inside, although driven into the ground, that Melbourne player there. Oh, he's just desperate at it, isn't he, McKenzie? He's like an old dinosaur bone. He just gets in there and he can't be harmed. Up they go. Fighting for the ball here is Howe. Did well, although Duffield removes it. Mazungu, who's kicking today, has been a little ordinary. Handball back into Clancy. He'll be nailed from behind, and he was. Oh boy, Clancy.
We had time and space. This will hurt if they get a goal here, Melbourne.
Got to go very long to Green. Oh, didn't get around.
Headed now, goes long to Green. Green's going to mark uncontested with a double bite of the line up for his 5th goal of the game.
Well, the first kick needed to go long over Green's head, but once Green identified that the ball wasn't coming, he doubled back and just lost his direct opponent. So good tackling pressure again. And your boy, Carl Morton.
Well, you've got to give credit where it's due, and that is a fantastic tackle to create a shot at goal for Green for his 5th goal.
No awareness for Clancy, or no voice from his teammates.
Both, Brian, both.
Thank you. 5th on the offer here for Brad Green, and we're going to ride it home. It's bending back, not enough. A let-off for the Dockers.
See who was involved in that scoring chain, and he's been very good in this term. Stephen Martin, his work in the ruck has been outstanding. We saw he picked up some possessions in the first quarter inside 50, but he's just racking up disposals. 14 now for the game, and the 1 goal. He's been very impressive in the ruck with J Murray out of the side.
Over the back it comes, and waiting out the back was brought in immediately. Gives it onto the Fife. Fife with a bounce, pulled the little kick. Got to be clean at ground level. He is on this occasion. Hinkley, magnificent kick. Main, Fife says, not me, I'm manned. Zach Clark pointing up the corridor. He ignores that, and now Main. What does he do here? Brings it back inside to Pav. Pav can go inside to McFarlane if he wants. Now he can't.
You see how Freo don't go in quickly.
Look at the runner. He said, you've got to go. There's only a few seconds left, but he had 26 of them left. And I reckon the runner got it wrong there. He should have gone up to him and said, you've got 30.
It was Jason McCartney too, Brian.
Gee,
former North Melbourne player, the runner.
Well, he had a direct effect on Pavlich's decision-making then. And I reckon
He rushed it.
it was too early. Composure. Boy, oh boy, wowee, what about that?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct there. I think Pavlich looked around. He had no option. He had to kick the ball after he kicked the ball to the runner.
Siren sounds to end an entertaining half of football. Melbourne owned it in the first quarter when they led by 31. Mark Harvey not happy. They now lead it by 25, 10-7, 67 to the Dockers, 6-6, 42.